to the computer. Okay. Let's see here. Speaker. All right, guys. First of all, I just want to welcome you guys for coming on here tonight. I'm really excited about what we have going on. This tonight is just to get everybody kind of on the same page. I know we got some couple different events coming up that we're going to spend more time together. But this is going to take a commitment. I was watching some Eric Worre was talking about the other day, to where there was this guy that was talking to Eric, and he said, I'm making $5,000 or $6,000 a month. I've been making that for years. And he said, Eric, have we really ever done a true 90-day run? And Eric said, no, I don't think you have. I don't think you have really did a 90-day blitz. And that guy went all in. He sacrificed some things. And he ended up, by the end of that year, $1 million earner. It's crazy story. But it just goes to show you there are so many times that we really think that we're making sacrifices and doing this thing to the best of our ability when we're really not, including me, guys. I'm talking to me 100% here. That's one reason by leading this group, and I had to get my butt back in the gym just to be able to get any type of respect from anybody leading the group. I had to make sure that I'm organized, and that is something kind of new to me. I'm kind of one of those wing it guys. That's how I work best. John has kind of been the organization guy on the team, and if he's not organized and structured, I mean, John don't know what to do. So anyway, I'm going to lead by example. I'm going to give you guys everything I got. I'm really excited about this. Full-time people on here, and I know there's a few. There's 4 or 5 people that don't have a job that this is going to be considered full-time. The commitment to that, I mean, you're expected. I mean, if you're going to get the results you want, putting in 12 to 16 hours a day, that's what I plan to do. I know Scott and Jason are going to lead by example. Part-time, one thing that we had talked about is 20 hours a week commitment of really kind of blocking off some time. So when I see you guys on the 4th and 5th, I'm going to have some notebooks that are going to have some calendars that are going to allow you to kind of block off some time. There's going to be some accountability charts on there, because we can come on here and give you the plays all day long, but if you're not running the plays and you're not held accountable, you're not going to have the success that you want to have. And what we're going to have is we're going to have a weekly sheet with some of the logs, some of the things like that at the end of the week, you're going to take a snapshot of on your phone, and you're going to post it to the group message right there, the group message that we have. And we'll say one thing I would like to do, there's 2 things. Now, guys, don't get overwhelmed and think I've got to be on the Tuesday night Zoom, the Thursday night Zoom, this Zoom, Sunday's call. Don't get lost. If you don't have if we're doing a prospecting thing, whether it's D, John, and I've talked to D and John about all this, if we're doing a prospecting thing and they're doing a presentation and you don't have a prospect on there, okay, you hopping on there to watch the presentation over again, to be honest with you, that's not getting you any better. You've seen the presentation up. Now, if you've got a guest on there, or you've got somebody that's supposed to hop on there, it might not be bad for you too, but don't get caught in just being busy. One thing we want to be is productive. That is key. Now, if there's some training on Thursday nights, because I'm the one that got John and Dee to start the Tuesday, Thursday thing every week. I mean, I'm the one that brought that idea up just to give us options. So if you have some new people, or they're training over some that you want to hop on there, that you feel like you need to get better, but don't feel obligated that you have to do that if it's something that we've already trained on before. What's going to make you successful in this, just like Scott talked about today, I think he shot a live in our group, is it's going to be the productivity is out making calls, making connections, showing the plan. One of the things that I'm going to have in your accountability group, Ray Higdon, kind of copied this from him, but he talked about a 90-day plan, and he talked about if you were part-time, you needed to score 20 points a day. And he had all these activities to where you got different points for doing each activity, and your goal was to hit 20 points for that day. If you're full-time, your goal is to hit 50 points for the day. So I'll have kind of it's kind of a scoreboard or something so that you can shoot for each day that I will add in that accountability book for you that will kind of walk you along. I also have been doing like Eric Worre did the ultimate memory jogger. I'm going to have a copy of this for everyone, and also a master list. One thing that we need to be doing, we need to be starting with a list. When we get started with this, we need to have a list of 300 people. I'm sorry, 100 ain't going to do it. Everybody on here, if I were to say, hey, I got a bomb at your house, and if you don't come up with a list of 300 people, by the end of the day, the bomb's going to blow up. Everybody have 300. They have 500 people. So, I mean, just to be honest with you, it's all about a sense of urgency to have a list of 300 people. And it might not be people that you talk to on a normal basis. It might be people that are in your community that are influencers, people in your community that you want in your business. Now, it might not be your first connection. You may have to start with a person in your community and say, you know what, who do I know that knows this person? How can I get introduced to this person? What kind of get-togethers or parties or socials does this person go to where I can get introduced to them and book an appointment? So let's try before January 4th. We have our list of 300, and some of us have got some very, very old lists. We need to update them a little bit. Now, I was going through my phone today. I've got people in my phone. I bet you I've got 200 people in my phone that aren't even on my list. Now, I made a new list, and I put them on it, but I have people on my phone that weren't on my list. If they're important enough to be in your phone, they should be on your list. They should be on your list if they're important enough to be in your phone. Also, and I'll try to post this to the Facebook page, but every one of your Facebook contacts, not every single Facebook friend should be on your list, but most of you have 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, whatever Facebook friends, okay? When's the last time that you went to your Facebook page and scrolled through all of your friends? I did that the other day, and I've got nearly 5,000, but there's people in there I forgot about years ago that I'm thinking, you know what, why didn't I reconnect with this person? Or I prospected this person 5 years ago, and I can actually go into the messenger, to the chats, and see where I had conversation with them 4 or 5 years ago. And when I started going through some of them, there were some people that asked for information I never sent it to. And I'm like, okay, well, 3 years later, sorry for the delay, but so I pick right back up. So within your phone, your Facebook, another thing that you can do is you can go to your email accounts. Go through to your email accounts and look at your email list, people that you've sent emails to. Add them to your list. Maybe the memory jogger. So let's try, when we show up on the 4th or 5th, let's try to have a list of 300 people. That's going to be our starting point. Also, one thing that I would like to do is there's 2 things I think that you definitely got to be committed to besides the hours that you set aside to work this business full time. And if you're part-time and you have a 2-hour block set aside to work the business, you're full-time during that 2 hours. That's the mentality you have to take. You may say, I'm part-time in this business, but for this time I have blocked, I'm full-time. Zeja's it. I'm full-time. So try to have you a workspace or something set aside to where you know you can go and work and you don't have a bunch of disturbances or you got to take care of a bunch of other things or distractions. Because once you get distracted, you know it takes a while to get back on course. I mean, that's just human nature. So let's plan this. And if you guys have any issues with it, let me know and we can change the time. But I think because Friday Night Lights, the cycle ends on Friday night, I think we got to start the next week out the very next day, not started on Monday or Tuesday. We've lost 3 or 4 days. So why don't we plan on Saturday morning at 10 o'clock Eastern? That's 9 o'clock Central. So Saturday morning at 10 o'clock Eastern, us having a launch call for the week. And what I mean, that's all of us. That's the planning of what we're going to do that week, maybe some of the new strategies we've got that week. Maybe we say, okay, Jason, this week, Jason and Bobby are going to talk to us. All we're doing is recruiting chiropractors and doctors this week. And here's their strategy that we're going to use this week. Here's their scripts. Here's the emails you're going to send. This is what you're going to say on the phone. But we're going to have some different strategies each week. So let's go ahead and make sure we touch base Saturday morning at 10 a.m. And throughout the whole launch, we'll try to hold that call steady, because what that does, that gives us all day Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 7 days to take action, okay? So I would, guys, if you'll commit to that, I will record it. If something comes up and you can't be on it, I mean, let's try to be committed to it. But if you can't be on it, let me know and I'll send it to you. But that's going to kick off our week each week on Saturday mornings. Sunday night, the team call, I think it's important. One thing that this 500 strong thing should do, it's almost embarrassing that we don't have over 100 people on the call each week. I mean, that's almost unacceptable. I was talking to Dee and John and Estes and those guys about it. And we've had, I think John said 185 weeks in a row we've had a team call since he started Team Victory. And for us to be around 50 people, I mean, we're not really utilizing that call the way we need to. If you guys got some ideas of ways that we can improve the call with more stories or things like that, let me know and I'll go to John. John will listen. A lot of times he may seem unapproachable at times, but he will listen. If you'll let me know, I'll call him and say, hey, John, I've been talking to some people. What about these ideas? I mean, however we want to structure that team call, if you got any input, let me know, and we'll definitely get that worked on. So by taking a picture of your accountability stuff, your logs each week, and putting it in our Facebook chat by our Saturday morning call. So you can do it Saturday morning early or Friday night late, but let's try to commit to doing it. Because if you just hop on here and you say, you know what, I want to take action, all this stuff, if you're not taking action, you're not going to see the results. I posted, I think we've got 36 people now since I've updated it that have registered for Cincinnati. And that's one thing. If we're going to get to 500, which we are going to get to 500, and for any of you guys that think there's no way we're going to get to 500, maybe this isn't for you, because the mindset that you got to have, we're getting to 500. I don't care what we got to do, we're getting to 500. And when you close your eyes, sometimes I can see that vision of 500 people walking in with black shirts, 500 strong, across the chest, and just looking like an army of people. I remember when I first got in and went to the convention, there was a team out of Canada that actually rented a plane. They resigned a plane. They rented a plane, and they flew down here from Alberta. And there were about 200 or 300 people wearing the same shirt that walked in together. It was one of the most powerful things I've ever seen. I mean, just give you chills. And that's what I see coming from this. I really do, guys. And you got to believe that. You got to believe that vision. It's going to happen one way or the other. So one thing also I want to offer you guys, and I've talked to Jason about this a little bit. Scott, we've talked a little bit about it. For anyone, I want to throw an incentive trip out there, and this goes for all of you guys, all of you, the original 500 strong. Now, this call should start growing. This should start growing over the next week or two, because when you bring somebody in, if they say they're interested in the business, what we don't want to do is saying, well, hey, maybe you should go to our event in March. Or, hey, we're having an event in March. Do you want to go? Guys, you can't approach it like that. I would say, you know what, Joy? If you're serious about doing the business, Joy, you want to do the business, right? Joy, you have to commit to March 23rd. If you're serious about this business, everybody we bring in that wants to work the business are committing to March 23rd in Cincinnati, Ohio. It's 3 months away. So it's $39. I can get you enrolled right now as I put your order in. So we need to get people, we need to have a sense of urgency to get people to that event. Because if we just give them an out, or if somebody says, yeah, you know, I might go, or I'll let you know later. Guys, you just sorted them. They ain't serious about this. If you make that big of a deal about that event and they still don't jump and say, okay, I want to commit to it, then they've sorted themselves. Now, if they want to be a customer and kind of just hang around and kind of dabble with it, that's fine. You need those too. I mean, I'm not, there's nothing wrong with a great customer. There's nothing wrong with somebody that just kind of wants to give you referrals every now and then. Love on those people, love on them. Okay, but if they say that they want to do the business, you have to lay it out like that when we're going to get to our 500, we've all got to do that. So here's the deal. For anyone on here that gets 10 of their personal sponsored people, they get 10 of their personally sponsored people committed to Cincinnati. Okay. In April, mid-April, we're going to have kind of an incentive trip to Gatlinburg for 2, you and your spouse, to come down, all expenses paid. We'll get a nice cabin. We'll bring some good food. We'll get all that taken care of for the people that can come through and get at least 10 people to Cincinnati. And think about this. We're already at 37. Let's say there's just within this group alone right here, if we all get 10 committed, I mean, that's over 300 people more right there. That's over 300 people more. But the magic is going to be think about this, when you take a penny and double it every day for 30 days, it's over $10 million every day. So the way this thing is really going to grow is as we're committed, first of all, to Cincinnati. As we bring somebody in, they commit to Cincinnati. Now, their goal is to get 5 people to Cincinnati, 5 to 10 people themselves to Cincinnati. So think about this. For every person you bring in, if you help them get 5 people to Cincinnati because they're fired up, they see what's going on. And think about this. When I'm new and I start seeing, dang, that list is growing. Oh my goodness, they added 4 to it today. Holy cow, we're getting closer every day to our goal. I mean, that's motivating. And when you look at it, I'm like, oh guys, we're throwing a disco party. We just went over 100. We got 100 now. Okay, and then we worked to 200. I remember sitting in a computer office back when I was teaching at Madisonville North Hopkins. And I remember when I was sitting there, I would look at my team every day. I'd pull up my genealogy, and I'm like, oh, man, I'm at 167 people in my group now. I'd look at it every day. And I'm like, man, how's it going to feel to get to 200? Then when I went to 200, I'm like, dang, man, I'm at 200. And I'm like, dang, I got to help more people. Think about these people that we already have that we can continue to not get Cokes, but Coke machines. We want to create people that get excited, that start bringing in multiple people. And when you get multiplication happen within your organization, it's crazy. So I've sponsored about 280 people since I've been in. Most of them been customers. A lot of them had quit. I've had a lot of disappointments. But by working with people through people and doing that, I've got nearly, it's about 6,500 people in the organization now. And I remember when it was 100 and something. So just know, guys, you're going to have disappointments. I mean, you're gonna think that you got somebody, they're coming, I'm excited, they're not gonna show. You're gonna think, dang, can I really do this business? Can I really do this? And I'm telling you, without a doubt, you can and you will. You can and you will. So know that everyone goes through that, guys. So anyway, anyone on here that gets 10 new people or 10 personally people, and guys, you can count people that are already on your team. You can count that as one. If they're on your team already, and you get them committed to Cincinnati and they sign up, that's one of your people. Count them. So if you can get 10, we'll go down and we'll do like a whitewater rafting trip. We'll do some fun stuff. It'll be good. But it gives us something to shoot for. If we'll go all in for 90 days and just shoot for that. Now, January 4th, I do have Roosters right there in the Hurstbourne area over there, not far from where the Shelbyville campus, where we have the event on the 5th. From 4:30 to 6, we're going to have a dinner, and we're going to do a lot of learning. I'm going to walk you through. I ordered 5,000 Peak cards, and everybody's going to leave there with with several hundred Peak cards, and that's going to be part of what we're doing. Because the Peak cards that's going to be your end right there. As I walk up to somebody and I've got all 5 things listed there, and I may say, you know what, Rachel, out of these 5 things right here, what interests you most? And those 5 things are better nutrition, weight loss, pain relief, more income, or time freedom. Those 5 things. So if Rachel says, you know what, who wouldn't want to make more money? She's just told me, hey, I'm going with the business now. If she said, oh, I'm just interested, maybe losing a little bit of weight or whatever, great. Now we know she's interested as a customer. If she says, okay, 1, 3, and 5, I got a little bit of pain. Who doesn't want to make more money? I'd like to lose a few pounds. They're full blown. They're full blown customer, distributor. Now you can present everything to them. So with the questions being on that card, we're going to take you through a system that's going to allow you to ask questions and get immediate feedback. You're going to be able to sort where to send them right now. And we'll also go through the ZJDifference.com website just to make sure you know what is there. That's more of a customer. And ZJ123.com, there's some different steps that we'll talk about, but that's more on the business side. I know Scott Taylor, some of you guys that are on his team, he's got a website also, which, you know what, the bottom line is get them to the information. It doesn't matter what it is. Get them to the information, and let's work the system, the Peak Pass plug. Also, I'll be giving you out the Peak cards, the accountability books for everyone. Also, I got a commitment bracelet for everybody. And I don't even wear bracelets. I don't even do that stuff. But I say, you know what? We need to get a commitment bracelet. So when I go out to work that day and I know I set 2 hours on my calendar, I look down and it says team, 500 strong. I'm working with a team. And when you can, guys, when you feel a team working together, I mean, we become unstoppable. I mean, that's the truth. We become unstoppable. And there's some strengths on here. I may be asking some of you guys that have strength in certain areas to kind of lead us one week and maybe how you've approached home parties or how you've approached this. So it's going to be all of us working together. This definitely ain't the Will Show. I don't want it to be the Will Show. All I want to do is bring everything together so that we all use each other's strengths the right way. That's all I want to do. And by helping you guys do that, I help myself also, because there's no way in the world I can try to tell you guys to do something that I'm not doing myself. Just like when I hired assistant coaches, one of the questions I said I would ask, I said, okay, you find out that the bathroom in there is the toilet's broken, and you know that we can't get anybody to come look at it. What do? Better try to fix the toilet. I want people that want to go to work and want to do things. So anyway, the January 5th event, if you can't make it in for the 4th for that dinner, if you can't make it, then I'll get together with you on the 5th during a break or something and give you your books and give you your Pete cards. And on January 5th in Nashville, there's going to be a group on here that are coming to Nashville that's not going to Louisville. I will be coming down to Nashville also. So what we'll do is we'll get together after the event at probably about 7 o'clock. I think the event's going to end at 6:30. We'll get together at 7. I'll have a restaurant, or I'll have just something, maybe a meeting area that we can get together in for about 30 minutes and go over some of this and give you the information also. So all that I ask, guys, is that when you get somebody in, once they sign up for Cincinnati, add them to our 500 Strong Facebook page. Add them to the page. Now, it's not one of those deals where you add them and everybody welcomes them to the team. We want the facts and everything on that page to kind of just stay steady. I know you'll be adding them to Team Victory, Team Hope, and all that. But what I would do in the comments below the list, just put their name that, hey, so-and-so just committed to 500 Strong. And then I'll go back and edit the list and add them to it. So we got a long ways to go. We got 400, let's see, I'm not good at math, 463 people to go, but we're going to get there. One thing, too, that we'll try to plan out is we'll have a couple blitzes to where maybe we'll meet on a couple Saturdays in some different areas, and we'll have like a work camp. All we do, we're making calls. We're going out in the community. Maybe we'll say, okay, you partner up with so-and-so. We're going to have an event here tonight at this hotel. We're going to go out and we're going to get 50 people here tonight. And we have a competition. Maybe we eat lunch together. Do some things like that. Just some different action type things that we're going to be doing during this. It's going to be fun. It is going to be challenging. But, guys, I mean, I'm at the point, my business has been up and down for 6 years. I still have a very, very good residual income. That's all I got. I got no retirement. I got nothing else. I lost a bunch of money in Nashville doing that business I did. So I'm all in. I have no choice but to make this thing happen in a big way. And I'm committed to you guys, and I want this for you. So does anybody have any questions or any ideas? Bobby and Jason, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. I know you had a couple things, Jason, that you guys wanted to add.
So, Will,
yes, sir.
On Friday night at 4:30 at that dinner, we're going to be going over all the accountability things, and you're going to go over the training on how to use the actual Pete cards.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I think that's going to be really important. You know, I mean, are we going to do those by dropping those off at like different businesses and start going up, because you cut out a lot during that time. I couldn't hear you. Are we going to go like drop in businesses?
Yeah, we're going to do a bunch of things. We're going to approach businesses. We're going to approach people. We're going to take them if our kids got a ball game. I mean, we're basically going to set something to where 10 to 15 of those a day going to be handed out somewhere for us to get where we want. That's how, Jason, I used to leave with 10 of those in the morning. I didn't come home until they were gone.
Okay. Well, and so, and far as it's 10 personal people, far as the trip.
Yes, 10 people. 10 people. Yes, that you've sponsored.
Okay.
So if you don't have those, okay, we got 90 days to sponsor 10 to 15 people.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay.
My goal, Jason, is 20. I'm gonna sponsor 20 in the Louisville, Lexington area and 20 in Nashville. That's my goal. 40 people in 90 days.
That's awesome. And we just had our first people that that we got into the business and, you know, committed to Cincinnati, and it takes some time, but once you get it rolling, once you get the momentum going, and that excitement will start taking over, and you just tell that other story to your other prospects as you're going. That's what I've been telling Bobby with a lot of different things. You tell that story of the other people going and making a great decision right in front of them. Right. They get excited about what's going on. Show them the list. Have the list printed out. When you're talking to them, it's like, this is gonna be life-changing event. And it will be. There's gonna be so much momentum, and I wish everybody could make it on at that dinner, but I understand not everybody's going to be able to do it. But it's going to be. We need to really mobilize this next coming weekend and start, because there's going to be some people that are going to be coming on in within this next week that we're building the story, and it's going to be exciting. I can't wait. I can't wait to see where this goes.
Absolutely, I appreciate you guys. Does anybody got any questions, concerns, anything? If you guys want to unmute, if you got any questions, just ask. I'd love to answer any you got.
Will.
Yes.
Hey, listen, I don't know. I mean, this is just addressing the lack of participation on the Sunday calls. I mean, I think we've all noticed that, and you brought that up. A suggestion that I have is that, possibly, maybe not every Sunday, but, maybe every couple Sundays, somebody's name within Team Victory get drawn for some type of incentive. I mean, random, a drawing, and then, hey, sorry, if you're not on that call, then you're not a winner. I mean, it may just be that simple, to do something like that, to draw a random name within Team Victory.
Good idea. Great idea. Anybody else? I'll talk to John about that, Joy. It's not bad. Not a bad idea.
I just had an idea. While somebody else is thinking about a question, I think it'd be a good idea for people to figure out, start coming up with a goal. It's like 10's your goal, but how many people do you want out of the 500 as a team? And I was talking to Rachel about this earlier. Is that you could write up a confession statement of how many people you're going to. I'm going to have 10, but I want 25 of the 500, and also write out. You mentioned it, Will. What does it feel like to see you visualize? The 500 people walking in. Well, how would that make you feel? How about when you're walking in and 25 of those people, you're already pre-playing in your mind. And this might sound hokey to some of y'all, but the thing is that you'll never have anything physically that you don't first think about it in your mind. And so it might be a good idea to have it written out on a card exactly what you're wanting, and start speaking that and reading that every single day, and so that so you could be single focused, because this thing, if you do that, then it'll become. But like if you ever read the book Think and Grow Rich, it will become a burning desire. It will become almost an obsession, and doors will start opening up to the people that are focused, and the ones that focus the longest are going to win in this, and they're going to have the most people there. So I think that might be a good suggestion. You maybe never done that before, but that might be a good suggestion to do as we move forward with this.
Absolutely. And guys, this isn't just going to change your family's life. This could change our entire company. We walk in with 500 strong, and you got Jerem and Mr. Brailsford and all those guys there. When this has a chance, I'm telling you, I get chill bumps thinking about it. This could change the dynamic of Zija International. I promise you, especially with that CBD oil and some of the things that they're releasing. I mean, that's a buzzword right now. You've been hearing CBD, CBD, CBD. Okay, we got to take that and run with it. I mean, we do. We got to take that and run with it. And I was taking some notes last night from that network marketing pro event. I watched hours of it last night, and just a couple things that Ray Higdon talked about. Ray Higdon was a guy that didn't even have a job. I mean, he was basically homeless, living out of his car. And he talked about some of the things, the formula for success is to get someone to do what they already want to do for their benefit. He talked about get someone to do what they already want to do. They're scared to do it or might not have the confidence to do it, but get them to do it for their benefit. Don't get them to do it for you. Don't make them think that, hey, you got to do this for me, okay? But giving them the confidence to have that success for themselves. And he talked about that changed his whole life right there. And some of you guys may know Jessie Lee Ward. Some of you may not. Maybe some of you may have seen her on Facebook. She's kind of wild and crazy. But she went from never doing network marketing ever before to within, I think it was 18 months, being $1 million a year earner. Then she got kicked out of her one company or left. Something happened, went to another company and did it in 6 months. So she's been a 7-figure earner in 2 different companies. And one of the things she talked about is hers was all organic. She didn't know very many people at all. She talked about find your 5 types of people. Pick 5 things that describe who you are, whether it's football, coaching, leadership, fishing, outdoors, cooking, whatever it is, 5 characteristics that describe who you are and what you really enjoy. And now she said she started finding Facebook groups on Facebook that had people with the same interests as her. That's all she did at first. And then she started building a relationship and responding. And one of the things she talked about, so many times out there, people say, well, I don't have a very big following, or not very many people like my stuff, or not very many people do this or that. How many people's stuff are you commenting and liking and throwing hearts up on and doing like that with people? If you're not giving, you're not going to get. And that's what she talked about, building relationships. And she said when she gets a Facebook request from somebody, before she accepts it, the first thing she does, she creates a conversation. Hey, where do we know each other from? Or how did you find me on Facebook? So she's creating a conversation with someone before she friends them. Because, I've got 5,000 friends. I probably don't know 2,000 of them. But you know what? When they send me a friend request, or when I send them a friend request, that's a great opportunity right then or there to at least establish some kind of start of a relationship. And it's not pitching somebody right away at all. It's not pitching somebody right then and there. It's building a relationship and finding some commonality, maybe finding that bridge about what you guys, how you guys met, or the same people, all that. And she talked about, real quick, guys, and I won't keep you very much longer. She talked about the 4-2-1 rule that she uses each week, or for every 7 posts, 4 of them are not related to anything at all to do with business, network marketing, products, nothing. 4 out of 7 posts. I don't know what percentage that is, but it's a pretty high percentage. About 60%, I would say. So the thing is, she's just telling who she is. Maybe it's a picture. Maybe it's what you like. Maybe it's a comment. 2 times a week, or 2 times out of those 7 are kind of posts. She said kind of business. Maybe a picture of you at the gym. Maybe it's you talking about something that you learned, reading a book. Maybe it's you taking a picture and you got your product in the background or something. It's kind of talking about it. It's kind of blending it with who you are, but you're not pitching anybody. Does that make sense? So you got 4, nothing at all, 2 kind of, sort of, and then 1 time out of 7, she does about a 15-minute live, and she talks about her products. She talks about network marketing. She talks about other things to where she does pitch somebody, because that's part of who she is. But you know what? 6 out of the 7, she doesn't. So she's been very successful, and I took a bunch of notes. She's got one of the biggest followings I've ever seen in my life, and it's because she's herself. And with Facebook Lives nowadays, that's the #1 way to attract the like-minded people that understand you to it. And let's really do a good job, guys, of supporting each other, commenting on each other's stuff, liking each other's posts. I mean, let's do a good job with that, just helping each other out during this run, okay? So I appreciate you guys. I did record this. I'll post it within the 500 Strong group, and look forward to seeing you guys here real soon. And we'll get going from there. You guys have a great weekend. Have a happy New Year.